Hey guys, hello and welcome. And today we will talk from this book, The Head First, and we will try to learn the Python. Okay. So what are the topics we're gonna cover is the basics, getting start, and list of data, working with original with order data and structured data and reuse functions and modes, building a wrapper getting real web apps, and sorting and manipulating data where it puts your data, using database, putting Python DB API to use, a little bit of classes, abstracting behavior and state, the context management protocol, hooking into Python with statement, functional functions decorations, wrapping functions, a little bit of tethering, dealing with waiting, and exception handling, what to do when things go wrong, advanced iteration, looping like crazy, installing Python, Python anywhere, like deploying your web app, and top 10 things we didn't cover, those always more to learn, and top 10 projects not cover, and even more tools on libraries and module uh, is needed. So we will do that. Now, getting involved the Python community, we will talk on that also. Now, there that was a table of content in a summary. Let's move on to the table of content, the real things, what you gonna do and what are the questions is need to be asked before you start. And so let's go with this. Your brain on Python, where you are trying to learn something with whether your brain is doing your favor by making sure the learning doesn't sick your brain, thinking better leave room for more important things like which wild animals to avoid the weather, naked snowboarding is bad idea. So how do you trick your brain into thinking that your life depends on knowing how to program in Python? Now, who is this book for? Those questions we will answer shortly. Now, we know what you are thinking, okay? We know what your brain is thinking, and meta connecting things about thinking. Here is what we did, read me and acknowledgement, okay? So, first is like the basics, getting start quickly, okay? So, as I said, the basics first we will talk. Okay, the table of summary you see here, the for all will go in depth. Those are the chapters that you're gonna start. You can see here, first we said those are the things like the basics from 1 to 12, and A B C D E, those 12 plus 5 chapters, 17. Now first with chapter 1, the basics, getting start quickly. Now, get going with Python program as quickly as possible. In this chapter, we introduce the basics of programming in Python, and we do this in a typical head first. Okay, once a minute, it's gone. Okay, okay, come on, huh? Typically head first style. Now, by jumping right in after just a few pages, you will have run your first sample program. By the end of the chapter, you will not only be able to run the sample program, but you will understand the code too. More and more besides. So along the way, you will learn about a few things that make Python the programming language it is. Now understand the ideal windows. Executing code one statement at the time, functions plus module, the standards libraries, data structure come built-in and invoking methods obtains results, deciding when to run blocks of codes. What else can you have if? Else and if functions. Suite can contain embedded suites, returning to Python's shell, experimenting at the cell, iterating over the sequence of object, iterating of specific number of time, applying the outcome of task number one of our code, arranging a pause execution, generating random integer with Python, code a scenario business application, in indentation driving your KZ, ask the interpreter for help on a function, experimenting with ranges and chapter first code. That's what we will talk on the 40 pages, and then we will move on to next chapter. All the programs proceed data. The Python programs are no exceptions. In fact, take a look around. Data is everywhere. A lot of, if not most, programming is all about data, acquiring data, processing data, understanding data. To work with data effectively, you need somewhere to put your data when process it. Now Python shines in this regard. Now thanks in no small part to these inclusions of hurtful, a widely applicable data structure, list, sets. Now in this chapter you will preview all four before spending the majority of the chapter digging deeper into list, and we will deep dive into the other three in the next chapter. We are covering those data structure early, as most of the you will likely to do with Python will revolve around with working with data. Now number, strings and objects meet the four built-in data structure: an unordered data structure dictionary, a data structure that avoid duplicate sets, creating list literally, use your editor when working on more than a few lines of code, growing a list runtime, checking for memberships within, removing objects in a list, extending a list with objects, inserting an object into a list, how to copy a data structure, list extended, the square bracket notations, list understand, stop the steps, and starting and stopping with list, putting slice to work list, Python for loop understand list, Marvin slice in detail, when not to use list, chapter second, first and second code. So I hope you got some sort of sense with this chapter 1 and 2. Now we will not go with the chapter 3 or 4. First we will go through the basics, and we know we'll do those also, so don't worry. Okay, come chapter 10, 11, 12, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, how to use these books, and the questions are going to answer. Who this book is for? Yes, you can answer yes to all of those. So do you already know how to program in other programming language? For example, I know HTML. Okay, I know HTML, PHP. So I can code on those language. Even I study engineering. Okay, engineering, and I study data structure. DATASTRUCTURE. I study data structure, and I can code in HTML and PHP. I understand those codes also. So this is for me. Do you wish you have had do you had a know how the program Python add it to your list of tool and make it do new things? Yes. Do you prefer actually doing things and applying the stuff you learn over listening to someone in a lecture rattle on 4 hours of end? Yes, I want. Now other questions is, this is not a reference book and we assume you have programmed before. We assume. So you should probably back away from this book if you answer yes of any of these. So if you say yes, then you have to go back. Now do you already know most of the what you need to know the programming in Python? No, I don't know. Are you looking for a reference book to Python, one that covers all the details in excluding detail? No, I don't want that cover crucial detail. No, I can go with this. I don't want any reference books at all. Now would you rather have you tonalize pulled out by 15 screaming monkey then learn something new? Do you believe a Python book should cover everything, and if it before the read those tears in the process, then so much the better? This book is not for you. If you say yes. Note from marketing, this book is for anyone with a credit card. We accept a check too. Thanks, man. You accept a check. Okay. So we know what you are thinking. Now, how can this be a serious Python book? What's with all the graphics? Can I actually learn it this way? Yes, yes, yes. Don't worry. We'll answer. We know what your brain is thinking. Your brain's crave novelty. It is always searching, screaming, waiting for something uh, unusual. It was built that way, and it help you stay alive. So, so, what does your brain do with all the routine, ordinary, normal things you encounter? Everything it can to stop them for interfering with the brain's real job. Recording things does matter, so it doesn't bother saving the boring things. They never make it past the this is obvious not important filter. Now how does your brain know what's important? Suppose you are out of a day hike and a tiger jumps in front of you. Now what happens inside your head and body? Neurons fire, emotional crank up, chemical sugars, and that's how your brains know the must be important, don't forget it. Now, but imagine you are at home or in a library. It's a safe, warm, tiger free zone. Okay. Now you are studying and gathering ready for exams. Hey, what happened with the pen? Okay, color is working, huh? Okay. Okay, my style is bit stop. Now you are studying, now getting ready for exams, or try to learn something tough technical topics. Your boss thinks will take a week, 10 days at the most. Just one problem, your brain try to do you a big favor. It's try to make sure that this obvious nomin nomi non-important content doesn't clutter up scarce resources. Now resources that are better spent sorting the really bigger things, like tigers, like the danger of fire, like how you should never have posted those party photos on your Facebook page. And there's no simple way to tell your brain, hey brain, thank you for very much, but no matter how dull this book is, how little I am registering on the emotional Richard Richter scale right now. I really want you to keep this stuff around. Okay, your brain thinks this is not a worth saving. Now get only for 450 more dull and dry and boring pages. Okay, don't worry. Okay, let me erase them and take a pause. So we talk about this. Okay, just listen it carefully and it will help you, don't worry. And we will enter into our more core technical part, so don't worry, don't worry. Okay, okay, come on, come on. Up, 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 up. We just only started. This is only 450 pages, so don't worry. Hmm. Okay. So it have a 450 pages and we already completed first 20 50 pages, right? Now this book is more about Python, as you'll understand, so we have to go through them what they try to teach. If you know basics of coding, so this book is for you, so don't worry. Other like this will help you, don't worry. And here is the master. Yes, head first Python, a brain fairly brain friendly guide. Most Okay, let's try to read what it says. Load important Python concepts. Load important Python concepts directly into your brain. Don't get in a pickle. Use DB API instead. Create a modern web page with Flash and share your code with module and objects, decorators, generators. They are all here. More data as list, triples, sets, and dictionaries. Anyway, they are the contributor. Those are the topics we need to cover, and we completed successfully our first chapter. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. So we think of head first reader as a learner. So, what does it take to learn something? First, you have to get it. Then make sure you don't forget it. It's not about pushing facts into your head based on the least research in a cognitive science, neurology, biology, and educational psychology. Learning takes a lot more than text on page. So we know what turns your brain on. So some of the head first learning principle, make it visuals. Make it visuals. So images are far more memorable than words along and make learning much. So understand, put the words within your or near the graphics and they relate to rather than on the bottom of fuck. Stop it. Mhm. Bottom or on another pages and learners will be twice as likely solve problem related to the content. Use a conventional and personalized style. Yes, always you have some personal advice style. So now get the learner to think more deeply and get a keep the reader's attention, touch their emotions. Okay, don't play with their emotions at least. Now metacognitive thinking, about thinking, we will not discuss on that. So just how do you get your brain to treat programs like it was a hungry tiger? Where's what we did. So we what how this book is actually, they explain it. So we use pictures because your brain is turned for visuals, not text. Yeah, we understand. We give you thanks for that. Like you did the pictures because your brain is turned for visuals, not text. So as far as your brain connected a particular no a particular uh, through a particular picture, really it's worth thousands words. And when the text and pictures work together, we embedded the text in the picture because your brain work more effectively when the text is within the things the text refers to, as opposed in the captions of buried in the text somewhere. Now this we use and redundancy, unexpected emotional humor, surprise, and interest, and conventional style. And we indicate more than 80 activities because your brain is turned to learn and remember more when you do things, and then you are and when you read about things. So the to do is there, right? You have to do it by yourself. So DIY is also there. Anyway, this will help. And multiple learning styles, both the sides of your brain, and stories. And we include stories, more than one point of view. And we include challenges, questions, and you are not spending on extra dendrive. So we use people, the story, example, pictures, so on, because you are a persons, and your brain pay more attentions to people than it does to things. Here is what you can do to bend your brain into submissions. Slow down. The more you understand, the lesser you have to memorize. To the exercise, write your own notes. Okay, write your own notes and read the there are no dumb question sections. Okay, there is a part of the core content. Make these the last things you read before bed, or at least the last challenging things. Talk about it out loud. Drink water a lot. Listen to your brain. Feel something. Write a lot of code. There's only one way to learn programming in Python, is write a lot of code, and that's what you are going to do through this book. Now coding is a skills. We and the only way to good at it is to practice. Now we are going to give you a lot of practice. Every chapter has an exercise that pros a problem for you to solve, and don't jump, just skip over the exercise. We include a solutions to each exercise. Don't be afraid to pick at the solutions. And if you're getting stuck, it's easy to get snagged on something small, but try to solve the problem before you look at solutions, and definitely get the working before you move on to the next part of the book. So I like these points. So they provide us the questions, problems, and also solutions. So we'll go through them at the end of the chapter. So don't worry, read me one or two. This is learning experience, not a reference books. Okay, we deliberately striped out everything that might get in the way. Now learning whatever it is we are working on at the point of the book, and the first time through, you need to begin with the beginners, because the book makes assumption about what you have already seen and learned. So this book is designed to go to get you up to speed as quickly as possible. So as you need to know stuff that we teach, so you wouldn't find long list of technical materials on tables. So Python's operations, nor its operators prevents rules. We don't cover everything, but we work really hard to cover the essential material as well as we can, so that you can get Python into your brain quickly and have it stay there. The only assumptions we make is that you already know how to program in some other programming languages. That is what we assume, and I hope you know. Okay, now these books target Python. We use release 3 of the Python programming language. Okay, we use release 3. Okay, release 3 Python programming language in this book, and we cover how to get the install Python 3 in appendix. Okay, go there and you will go there and install Python 3. So this book does not use Python 2. We put Python to work for you right way. Now we get you doing useful stuff in chapter 1 and build from there. So there is no hanging around, because we want you to productive with Python right way. The activities are not optional, you have to do the work. You have to do the work. The exercise and activities are not added add-ons, they are the part of the core content of the book. So some of them are not are to help with memory, such some of are understand, and some will help you apply you have learned. Don't skip the exercise, all go through the exercise first. The redundancy is intentional and important. The examples are as lean as possible. Readme 2 of 2. This second edition is not all like the first. So elsewhere, the where is the code? Okay, we have placed code examples on the web, so you can copy and paste them as needed. Although we don't recommend that you type your code as you follow along, although we do recommend that you type the code as you follow along. So you will find the codes at the locations here, or best is do your coding. Anyway, that's good. The technical review team, they are the who review our technical stuff. Acknowledgement and thanks, my editor and Safari Books Online, and getting start quickly. Okay, what Pythons? Okay, this is a starting point, right? So we'll not start now. In the next part, we will do the our starting. This was the introductory part, this video, and in the next part we will go with the code. Thanks for watching, and keep watching and learn more and complete this total video, so you will understand and learn more. Okay, thanks again, thanks for listening. Bye bye.